Here we go. Ooh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Another episode from the battle to the glory. Yes, we are here. It is holiday time, holiday season, and we are here. Guess what, guys? We got something special for you. This is going to be an interesting conversation. Notice it's going to be real interesting. It is about to be 2026. But listen, going into 2026, whatever you're doing, if you're dating, if you're in marriage, listen, we got something for you. We got a word for you. Listen, not only spiritual, but natural. Okay, because listen, this is some experience, but not only experience, but guess what? You can add or you can take from it. We want to pour into your life in a positive way, not a negative way. So we want you to be encouraged as we continue on in this year, going into a 2026. We want you to be prosperous. We want you to grow and get that relationship. What we talk about, Ronnie, when I say relationship?
I'm assuming a relationship between a man and a woman with our topics. I don't know.
Relationship with Christ, man.
With God. It could be
there you go, man. Yeah, that's the most important thing right now. But you're right. That was so broad. That was so broad. I get you. But listen, guys, we got something special for you guys. We got a guest. Before I introduce the guest, we have our co-host, Lady T. Of course, we have our brother from another mother, Rodney Glover, the host of Dad Mentality. And now we have our guest, Darryl. And I want to make sure that I say your last name correct. That's Herman. Harmon. Okay.
Right.
Darryl Harmon. And Darryl Harmon, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us a little small snippet of your life and what's going on in your life.
All right. I appreciate it. First, let me say thank you to Chef who reached out to me. And also thank you to Rodney and Lady T for being here and allowing me to be on your platform. Again, like you said, I'm Darryl Harmon. I'm an author, son, father, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I've been a carpenter for about over 30 years. And I'm down here, like I told you before, I'm originally from Connecticut, down here in Charlotte, North Carolina for the past 7 going on 8 years. Really loving it. Panthers, go Panthers.
No.
They pushing for the playoffs, so go Panthers.
You was having such a great intro. My bad.
Yeah. And I recently released my second book. Now that I'm a man, it takes a lot to be a man. In November, which is also available on Amazon. So that's my short take.
All right. Okay. All right. Listen. Well, listen. We have now. Let me let the audience know. We have 2 married people versus 2 single people. So we have 4 perspectives.
When it become a versus.
Yeah, yes, the title.
I mean, it's important. The reason why I put verses is because this is important. The dating season, we're going to jump right into this. Marriage purpose versus dating season. How do we get to the marriage? How do we really get to that? And so dating is important. It's the most important part before you get into the marriage. If you're not dating, how do you expect to get to marriage? Because you see flashy, shiny things, you see security. But come on, be real with yourself. It's more than just that. When you look at the statistics, divorce is at a high rate. Why? And so, Ronnie, I'm gonna go with you first because I feel like I ain't picking on you. Like,
why is divorce at a high rate? Is that what?
Yes, come on, but yeah, let's look at the dating season versus going to marriage.
I got you, but that's because the plan is working. That's why the divorce rate is so high. That's part of the plan. The plan of the world. The world don't marriage. Marriage is something that I feel that is God given. It's created, and the best thing that the world or the devil can do is to make you think that it's not a successful plan. That something that was created by God is not ultimately successful. So that's one of the best tricks that the devil can do. And guess what? The trick is working. And that's why there's unsuccessful marriages. That's why there's things that are happening. The world is now I believe, and as a old head 25 years in, looking from the outside, looking into the dating world, it's set up now to make sure you fail. And they are making it even more obvious that they want you to fail in it. Like the number one dating game right now is the balloon pop game. And they're putting it in basically our society, making it so that we think that we don't even have to know a person's name before we can judge whether or not we want to be with. It's as simple as you don't like the way they was walking. Is not now a good enough reason to not even date a person. And when you watch the balloon pop game, as soon as somebody comes in and they say anything, it's like the people are not even listening to watch. They're just listening. They're just listening to find a reason to pop the balloon and to move on to the next. Before that was online dating, when you just swipe left or swipe right. You didn't even have the time to finish reading the bio before you're choosing to swipe somebody, and then you go out on a date with them, and that date ends. You can have another date within 5 minutes. So that's what I'm saying. By right now, what society has people thinking is the end thing to do is really just setting you up for failure. So that's my opinion on that.
So, Lady T, let me ask you something. Do you feel like a woman can take a man out after the man then took you out several times? Do you feel like a woman should be able to take a man out and have no problems with that?
Of course.
See, I know
you said after several times. You said after several times the man took the woman out. I just want you to remember that part.
I know.
Okay.
Now, the reason why I said that, is because first, what about you, Darryl? Do you feel like that?
Can you repeat the questions? I want to make sure I answer it right.
After a man has taken out a woman a couple of times, do you feel like a woman should?
Oh, did we lose him?
Yeah.
I think we lost him.
Wow,
but to answer your question, I think he was about to say.
No, did you hear me? Did you hear what I said?
Well, you can finish the last part. I think I got it, but go ahead.
I said, do you think it's okay for a woman to take out a man after the man has taken her out several times?
I think it's essential. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. Nowadays, it's mandatory because of the societal norms have changed so much, and the pressure that's on the establishment of marriage in itself. I mean, I know Rodney went into a lot of the things I was going to say, and what he's talking really about is the overexposure. When marriage was strong, it wasn't so much exposure to other individuals, what was available. You go to work, you see that ring or whatever the case may be, it was hands off, but general nature is people are really not going to really approach each other like that most of the time. They meet in common spaces, but when you could just sit there, like Rodney said, and just flip through 100 or whatever, how many people, it puts pressure. It puts pressure on both parties to live up to that expectation, whether they wrote it in their bio or whatever the case may be. Hence, you got catfishing and all that kind of stuff going on now, So yeah, the female absolutely at some point, even if it's the first day, she could easily just invite you out for a small walk or something.
Okay. Well, I can tell you guys right now, a lot of women say no. And that's where I feel like, this is just my opinion. Now, this is my opinion. I feel like no, that's where it becomes a problem, because a real classy woman would be like, you know what, he's taken me out a couple of times, so let me take him out. Let me show gratitude. Let me appreciate him spending his time and his hard-earned money. Not because at the end of the day, what's the result of taking a woman out, just taking her out multiple times? What's the result after that? If you're not looking for just to lay in the bed with her, so what's the result of taking a woman out and dating her, and then you not anything is being reciprocated? There's nothing being reciprocated. Just so taking her on a date, taking her home, and then you go back home, she go back home, and then what's left? What's left? How do you validate that this is the right woman or the right man, other than we ain't gonna get into the faith part? We're not gonna get into that part. So I want to ask you, Lady T, what do you think? How do we derive to that? How do women, I'm gonna say not you, women, how do women derive to that?
Are you saying that a lot of women do not want to have a man that desires to be, you know, pampered too? Are you saying that? Are you saying that men, that they expect men to do everything pampering for her and not reciprocate, meaning she does nothing for him? Is that what you're telling me? That's how women are nowadays?
You tell me.
I don't know. I don't know. I do what I do. I'm old, so you know, my oldness probably shows a lot more. But I'll say this. I do think women need to be realistic. We are out here totally different in this day and age than our parents grew up as. And we have to take accountability for what we can bring to relationships. And that means we can bring love too by giving, by providing the dinner, by giving certain things. I'm not saying bend your knee to ask for a man's hand in marriage. Okay. Y'all take it too daggone far. But the point I'm trying to say is that we do need to give a lot more to the men that are in our lives. So I don't know what they do out there. I really don't. I've not been on dating apps. I have not been on a dating relationship or a date, like where, you're actually dating somebody, meaning I meet people where it's like instantaneously, like I know I'm supposed to talk to you. That's the type of relationships I've had. And I don't think I could actually go online and have those relationships where you meet somebody and you're figuring it out. Now, I don't have time, but I do know that there are women out there that like that. They say that they are able to get rid of all the things, the men that they don't like, the things about the men that they don't like, and they can pinpoint and they don't waste time. I've heard this, and I have to respect those women because they say, I'm too old. I have gone through enough men. I know what I want. And I respect it. I do, because I understand, that because society has us that we can be instantaneous about things, that we have a lot of options. And when you have to scroll and sort through men, hey, I can't say nothing about it. But for me, I feel like it is better when I allow, spirit to bring the person in my life. And I know this is who I'm supposed to have in my life. That feels more natural for me. I'm not seeking a man though. And I think that that's the thing.
Well, you ain't supposed to.
I know, but that's the thing. I was about to say, women are seeking the attention of a man and really not knowing themselves, really not caring for themselves properly, appropriately. We need to change that about us as women. So I'll just, stop there.
No, but now you're talking. You want to add to that, Daryl?
Yeah, like where she was going, I wrote down, know thyself. I think for a long time, we really didn't define what it meant to be evenly yoked. It was just one lane that we went down when we talked about evenly yoked. In some cultures, I have some clients of mine where they've been married just as long as Rodney, 25, 30 years. And their marriage was, you sit down, he sit down, y'all go ahead and talk for 45, 50 minutes. And then if y'all like each other, y'all go ahead and get married. So it just depends. I mean, I don't know if I could do that now, but that's a little far-fetched, but you know what I mean? But I think that over the years, I'm not sure which one of you said it, but I think it was Lady T, what we've seen was never really explained. So some of us have gotten into marriage. Like I said, I was married for 4 years. I didn't expect some of the trials and tribulations to be to that level. Okay. And so I think now people are like, listen, especially with, again, the overexposure. And it's and with the acceleration and the growth of women, you know, back in the day, 1920s all the way up, probably even in the 60s, 70s, she had limited capability to do anything on her own. So now we're seeing it at a different level, and I think it's great. I think it's good. I think it's good.
Now, Dara, do you have kids?
I do.
Son or daughters?
I have a son, biological son from my marriage, and I have 2 daughters that I've raised from 2 and 6.
Okay. Of course, yeah. Rodney he's a lucky guy. He got 2 sons and a daughter.
Yeah.
Lucky guy.
Yeah.
Guy. Me, I'm just super lucky. I got 2 daughters.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
Work.
Girl dad.
Work.
Girl dad. Yeah, that's
work.
Yeah.
It's work. But let me get back to the topic. Listen. Yeah, because I could go off because these 2 over here, like they crack the whip on me. You off topic. Like she laughs. She like that. But no, let's look at marriage purpose though. What is the purpose, the sole purpose of marriage? So many people have this concept. It's a contract or it's a piece of paper. But guess what? It's bigger than that. It's bigger than, and that now watch this. Man has said it's a contract, not God. And see how man has weaponized marriage. Man says marriage is a contract. It's a business. It is not a business. It is not a contract. It's bigger than that. It's companionship. It's love. It's patience. It's peace. Aggravation. You feel me? But I'm not just going skip that. No. It's struggle. You're going to struggle because guess what? If you don't struggle, there's not going to be anything that you're going to grow from. You're going to struggle. So the struggle is real. Somebody said in the comments, marriage is a covenant. Yes. And look at the word covenant and look at the word contract. It's a difference. It's a big difference. If you break the word down, covenant versus contract is different. See, there in the contract, you can breach a contract. You can breach a covenant by your actions. That you're going to do something against your wife. See, that's the same thing. You can breach a contract. You can breach a covenant with your wife. And so, that's why people get those 2 mixed up. Say it's like a business. No, it's not like a business. You don't love your business partner like you love your wife. I could be in business with Rodney. I'm going to show him love, but I'm not going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm not doing all that. It's going to be tough love between me and him. You know what I'm saying? And somebody said, each marriage is different and has its own purpose. Oh, wow. That's different. That's different. Its own purpose? Wow. What y'all think about that? Dr. Toya said that. It has its own purpose. What'd you say? What you think about that?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
What about you,
Darren?
Darren?
Fact, I'm about to put it on a t-shirt.
Each marriage has a different purpose?
Yes, absolutely. So don't be judging my marriage.
No, but go ahead, Darren.
Well, yeah, I also agree. You got to look at it like this. It's also dependent on age. The word says find your wife or your husband in your youth. Nowadays, that's really not happening. It used to happen back in the day out of stability, survival, and things of that nature. So we're really talking about today. and you have most people get married over 40. They've pretty much established themselves, their wants, their needs. And I remember going on a men's retreat and for the church. And one of the pastors said, listen, people call on my phone, congregation call on my phone, the members call on my phone. He said, listen, I'm 75% of myself. You should be 75% of yourself, which means when you call me, I'm going to add about 25 to 30% to that. So everybody has a different 25, 30% of what they need to, especially myself. I'm a business owner. So my life is different. It's very different. So yeah, I agree. Different purpose. I mean, from a religious standpoint, I think it's all the same, but from the natural, it can be different.
Rodney, you want to say something?
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna read something. It says marriage is a God-ordained union where two people become one flesh, reflecting Christ, and the church, requiring love, honor, faithfulness, and forgiveness between spouses, and key verses like Genesis 24:2 and 24, Ephesians 5:22 and 33, Matthew 19 and 16, 1 Corinthians 7:2. These are scriptures that show love and commitment, honor and prosper, and purpose. But where do we get our guidance from and our advice? Where do you get your guidance and your advice? So when you're having an issue, and most people, they take it to another brother or sister, but do they really take it to God? Do you take your problems to God and ask for advice or wisdom on those issues or those problems? Or you try to figure it out yourself? I think that's, for me, my opinion, I think a lot of people tend to do that. And then once they try to fix it, they make a mess of it. Then they call on God. God, fix this. But did you come to God the first time? The second time? No, you try to fix it and didn't consult with God. And I think a lot of people that's in marriages, they don't do that. What about, how y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel like that's accurate, or, that's just me saying?
No, I agree with you. As a person in the marriage, for a large majority part of the marriage, I would definitely say that I tried to handle on my own, and then we did not take it to God. I mean,
oh wow,
and to say that was, just to say that I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, it in the beginning, you still learning yourself, and you're still building yourself. It's no matter what, even in the beginning of a relationship, beginning of a marriage, beginning of everything, you first have to learn yourself and figure out what you're trying to do. And then if you're with another person, then y'all have to come together and agree and work on it together. And a lot of times when you have the disagreements or the things like that, yeah, your first thing is, I'm gonna take care of it. The first thing is, you make a decision and you do what you think you are in that moment. So, I mean, as you get older and you get better, I mean, it still takes, before I have a discussion with my wife, now we pray together before it. And that takes a lot of the animosity out of it when we're having these discussions. And even when we have the discussions with the kids, it's the same thing. So if you start inviting God in, then yeah, things do get a lot easier. But you still have arguments where you say things in a moment. It ain't like you're going to sit there and a lot of times you're angry, so you're not going to sit there right at that moment and pray before you say before you try to get your point across. So,
Dr. Toy put up, every marriage isn't God ordained, especially if you didn't include him in the decision. I mean, what how y'all feel about that? That was a comment. Daryl?
I mean, you have to. It's simple yet complex at the same time. I mean, you have some people that get into marriage and they've never had a relationship with God. They've never had a relationship with him. They've never been to church a day in their life. So you would have to just know that God ordained it, and they just want to do it to do it. They want to do it because it's like a normal thing in society. There's relationship shaming. We went through that through the 70s, probably right up to the 90s, shacking up. I mean, that was a big thing. So there's a lot that's happened. That's a tough one. I mean, I see where she's at with it, but you have to also think about the person. You'd have to almost ask the question: does God ordain marriages for people that never asked him for permission to get married? Does he still ordain it? So,
yes, the answer is yes. If it's ordained by God, it doesn't have to do. You don't have to know.
That's what I'm saying.
I would honestly say that my marriage is ordained by God, but when we got married, he was not the factor. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this, but now that I am here, the only way we still here is because it was ordained by God. Because it wasn't about, we didn't make this relationship work, God did. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was times that we tried our best to mess things up.
So in other words, Ronnie, every marriage isn't ordained. She said isn't. You saying yes?
No, I'm not saying. He asked, do the people got to know that it's ordained for it to not be ordained by God? Like, do you have to ask God to ordain your marriage? In my opinion of that is no, because I am now married. The only way we made it this far because it had to be by God. It wasn't by us. You know what I'm saying? Because we could have made mistakes a lot. We did make mistakes, but God always put something in our marriage to make us stay together. There was always something.
So let me ask y'all something. Since both of y'all saying that, right? Look, but who is the author of marriage?
God.
So every marriage is ordained by God. He
you can get married and it don't mean it was ordained by God, though. That's what I'm trying to say.
Listen, you said, so look, when you get married, right? When you get married, marriage was created by who?
Marriage was created by God.
So some people make poor decisions and marry the wrong person. Doesn't mean that it's not ordained by God. He is the author of marriage.
That's why I disagree with you. That's why I disagree with you, because some people get married for business. Some people get married for all kinds of reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with God. But just because, hold on, wait a second. Because they go and get a marriage certificate, does that mean that you were married in God's eyes? The way I see it. This is how I see it. Because in order for you to be married in God's eyes, then he has to be involved in some way. He has to be involved in this. You know what I'm saying? But there's people that just get married because they want to get, the girl wants to live in the United States and she's from South America. You know what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with God. So therefore God does not see that as a marriage, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
That's your opinion, right? Now, go ahead, Darryl. You just wanted to say something, but I'm gonna show you something. Rodney. Go ahead, Darryl.
No, go ahead. You got it on your mind. Let it go.
So, hey, Rodney. So listen, when a man has a child with a woman that's not supposed to, because of your decision, right? Guess what? Things happen, right? So when a person get married, no matter what, they are under the same law, whether they know it or not. They under the same law, because guess what? There are sins that are done, period. When you become a marriage couple and you become one flesh, guess what? Those same sins that they're committing and they got to answer to God. And they will know. So it has to be ordained by God, because guess what? In that marriage, when they commit a sin, they got to answer to God.
Yeah, they got to answer to God no matter what.
So
if you were married single,
in your marriage is a different. It's
whether you're married or single, sin is sin.
No, true that, but it's a different. It's a different level of you cheating on your wife versus you cheating on a woman you dating. Oh yeah,
it's still sin.
It's still sin. There's no greater.
Hold on, listen, Rodney.
It's still sin. No, it's still sin, bro. Hold on. It is not greater.
What's not greater?
Sin is not a weight, bro. A person who murdered and a person who steals still going to go to the same hell. Sin is sin. There's no weight limit to sin.
You're right. There's a different penalty though.
Who says
hell?
Huh?
There's a different penalty than hell? Maybe I'm not reading the Bible right. There's something different than hell.
Is there extra to it that we did not know?
So what you want to say?
Like, is it hell with gasoline or hell with
well, I say,
like, how does hell change?
I'm kind of rocking with Rodney here, and you invited me, Chef, so I don't want to make you mad.
Make me mad. Oh no, we don't do that here. AD, we transparent here, bro. We transparent. We love each other. We ain't no this ain't no get mad. Go ahead.
No, I'm joking with you, man. All I say, I do agree with Rodney as far as sin is sin. Now, from the standpoint of you may have more to lose if you do that in a marriage as opposed to just on the dating scene, you may have more to lose. But as far as whether or not you've done something wrong, you've done something wrong.
Okay, I would like to talk because y'all been talking and I just been listening. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I am on the other side listening to this conversation about marriage and dating. And I'm like, I've done it. I've done the marriage, and it was God ordained because God knew who I was going to marry and how long it was going to be. God was there. But decisions were made that neither one of us, I'll say this, because I have been married and divorced several times, I still have a respect for the men that are in my life or were in my life. I still have a relationship somehow, and I still respect them to the fact that I am not going to put them down with my words or how I speak about them whenever. I try my best not to, but I will speak on truth, right? If a drunk is a drunk and you can see it, you will know a drunk. So these things I don't have to worry about. My point is that all the people that are, in dating or in a marriage are living their perspective for the reason that God had for their purpose of their life. My purpose has been to see myself in the men that I have married and have had a relationship that I could not, formulate the foundation together, because that is really what a marriage is supposed to be. You are, melding yourselves, you're melting into one another to form the foundation to come to as one. And when you can't do that and you're bumping heads, we can give up. And I'm not going to put those people down that I gave up on or they gave up on me. I am saying the fact that love was still there, but the effort to try to, melt into become one can be very difficult. And God ordained that it would be that way, that it was supposed to happen that way, because that is the life that God knew that was going to happen the way it was to be. And I feel like when you can accept your life for what it is, when you know that you can say, I am not perfect and I am trying to deal with another person who is not perfect, and we have to learn how to communicate and deal with one another on a level that, we can enjoy each other's company. And when you're always trying to figure that out through different people, I say hooray to you, because you're not giving up on people. Now, if you are a person that found that one true love, congratulations. I'm happy for you. But those individuals that have to continuously search and look for the person that they think is good for them, continuously go on that journey. Be bold about it, but also be mindful, just because of the fact that you have to discern who you want to bring in your life at your age. Everybody's age is different. When you've dealt with an experienced type of person, you're not going to want to deal with certain ways and behaviors. My point is, when you are young, you may deal with a lot of things. I just feel like, when we're talking about these conversations, we are to be mindful that everybody in this world is not married. And those that are not married have a sense of knowing that they're in the place that they're supposed to be in for a reason. And they have to accept that about themselves. Now, if you desire, I'm going to say this very upfront. I'm not desiring to be in a, relationship. I'm not seeking for it. I tell that all the time because this is about me now. This is not about nobody else. But if that is your desire to have a relationship, that means you will have to see yourself in another person. And can you handle yourself in another person? And that means just because you think I don't act like that, there's a side about you that really does want to act like that. Like you have to check yourself. And that's the dating. Can you deal with somebody that actually makes you mad, pushes your buttons and challenges you? Can you deal with a person? Because that's real dating. And that's a marriage too, when you know that you want to deal with that type of person and you're going to form a foundation together. That's moving into that direction. But dating is totally different. So I'm just going to put my little 2 cents because it was 30 minutes into it and I ain't saying nothing.
Hey, Rodney, what you got to say, Rodney? Rodney at this
I ain't got nothing to say. I'm curious to what Mr. Harmon's going to say.
Go ahead, D. Go ahead, Don.
I mean, in relationship, Lady T said a mouthful, and she was waiting for it to get it off. I see she was making her notes down there. She was gonna get it off. But like she said, I mean, for me, it's so much has gotten lost, and it was easy to follow marriage. But like I say, 60s, 70s, 80s, it kind of got lost. And people really just started doing their own thing, and so that's why platforms like this, where Lady T gets to speak from her perspective, and we all get to speak from our own perspective. For those that are married, for those that are single, it kind of helps them. I had the privilege of being able to talk to my grandmother and my grandfather, but more so my grandmother in depth. And I asked her, Nana, how you stay with this dude 60 years? I couldn't get through 4, but without that conversation, we just seeing it. We're not really getting any of the things that go deeper, like we say, evenly yoked. Well, what does that really mean? Some of the things my grandmother told me would probably shock you. She said, well, Daryl, I knew D would love me, but the reason why we were able to stay together so long is because he never tried to control me. Now, had he tried to control me, I said, Nana, you wouldn't have been gone. You wouldn't have left. She said, I would have been gone.
Right.
I would have been out. And she told me one instance where she had to put her foot down for that situation. But the other thing is my grandfather, like she said she knew he loved her. And so now we have to just get back to the partnership. And like you say, people are people. It's not going to be all peaches and cream, but do they add that 25 to 30% to you that you need? I mean, somebody is emotionally needs this emotional care. I'm probably not that guy. Over and above that 25, 30%. If you 25% on your own self and you need another person to give you 75% of themselves, it's not realistic. So like Lady T said, Rodney said, you really have to know who you are as an individual. Know who you are. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with who you are as an individual. Know that you're snappy. If you're snappy, you need to know that you're snappy. If you know that you're not thoughtful, usually that's probably on us men. If you're not thoughtful, you need to understand, and work on those things. Be intentional and deliberate about working on those things. Because like I said, I'm not married now, but marriage was great. It was great. It didn't work, but I wouldn't speak against it.
All right.
Rodney.
Yes, sir.
You got this face.
You gotta ask the question. Nah, I'm good. I'm listening to what they're saying. I mean, it's definitely it's definitely interesting. I don't get into people's relationships. Whatever they want to do is up to them. If you happy, I'm happy.
See, look, see, Rodney want the easy road out. He said, if you happy, that's cool. but Rodney, here's the thing. This I know, and Rodney ain't gonna like this, y'all. He definitely ain't gonna like this. But listen, we have to be role models for others to look at marriage and says, I don't want their marriage, but I like to see. Hold on, wait a minute. Don't
go ahead. All right, go ahead.
What did the word says? You know them by their fruits. And in marriage, guess what? You have to see that marriage couple and say, you know what? Oh my goodness, I like how somebody might see you and your wife praying, and that motivate them to prayer. That's being a resemblant of Christ.
Can I talk now?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
you are all about motivation. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that. But and persuasion, and I'm not with you on that.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Grow as men?
Hold on, Rodney. Wait a minute. Some men don't realize that if they don't see other men in greatness, how can they be inspired to get great? You have to see it. You have to be a role. If there was no role models of good men, we don't even know what a good man look like based on what our fathers taught us. But guess what? Our fathers do the best
for other people to be seen by other people. That is the thing. You are always speaking in that manner, though.
Did Jesus come down? He came down to show the world. Right,
something that we still can't do.
As a man.
Okay, but we ain't doing what Jesus said, so don't act like we doing something that Jesus said. But yeah, but we ain't doing.
I don't hear him, Molly. I don't hear him at all.
No, sorry. No, we don't do what Jesus says. So why would you think that other people?
I strive to.
But striving and doing is two different things. Like we actually have to do.
Hey, you show me a man, a perfect man, and I'll show you a liar. That's how I look at it. You can't sit here. You can't sit here. I'm not going to sit here and tell nobody to that my marriage it should be an example of a marriage that you follow. Let me tell you something, bro. Being married 25 years, it's a battle. It is a job that you don't want to go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Why? What you mean?
What I mean, because dog, I'm just being honest. Like every day ain't perfect. Every day ain't great. There's a lot of times. There's a lot of. How you want to say? Go ahead, D.
No, my bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, Rodney, bring it. Because
yeah, my bad.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no perfection here, bro. There's nothing that I can tell you. There's things that my wife do that I still pray for. There's things that I do that she still prays for. We pray for each other, not because everything is great. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to have it, you got to figure out the secret sauce to your own relationship. I can't give you the secret sauce. There's a reason why our grandparents are going to tell you. Now, they can tell you what they did, but they also going to tell you that don't do what we did. Like, do it better. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing is this. When somebody be like, oh, you know, y'all look like y'all had such a great relationship. We do. Y'all think that, you know, y'all look this, y'all look that. Yeah, we do. But we also lied, cheated, and steal to get here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to do whatever it took to get here. And that's sometimes my wife don't tell me the truth because she know I can't handle it. So I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I do know she is at the thrift store spending money. Do I got to make that argument? No, like I don't. And I mean, it's just the thing, bro. I don't feel like if I am a model, if my marriage is a model marriage for you, that's great. But you have to learn your own secret sauce. There's nothing about what I do that I can tell you that's going to make your relationship great. You know what I'm saying? That you have to be in your relationship and you have to learn how to make that relationship great if you want it to be that. And that's what it takes. It just takes that there's no other decision to make. There's no I'm out of here. There's no, I'm not going to do it. There's no, I'm not going to do that. You have to take that out of your vocabulary and do whatever it takes.
So look, my question is, where did this topic come from? Because marriage purpose versus dating season has something to do with, is it a competition? Are we contrasting it? Are we saying that you're supposed to want to be married? Or is that the goal? Do you think that everybody looks at having a relationship that they must become married? Is my question to you, Chef.
Okay. So I'm glad you asked me that. Mm-hmm. Now we talking. Now we in the business.
All
okay.
Right.
In dating, what is the ultimate goal in dating?
Find a partner.
A partner for what?
Could be start a family. I mean,
but before you start the family,
but are there all relationships trying to get to marriage? Is that what you're telling me?
So why wouldn't it?
I don't know. I think that probably there are relationships that do not want to be married.
Okay.
I have to believe that. That's what I'm saying.
I got it. Now, Rodney and Daryl said something earlier. Okay. When God created man and woman, it was for what? Procreation. Is that correct? Is that correct?
I would say I would say not.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say yes to say yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because
it is part of it, but it wasn't.
That's it. No.
The only reason.
When God made man, me and you and Daryl, he made a woman for a helpmate. That's what he didn't do. Nothing else.
Lady T,
that's what he did. Helpmate. So guess what? So he didn't make. Look, when God made Adam, he only made one woman. He didn't make multiple women. They had to procreate to start civilization. He didn't make multiple women at one time. He made one woman, one man. Is that right?
Yes.
True.
That's it. So now, guess what? That's a marriage. That was the first marriage right there. One woman, one man. Right, Lady T?
Okay. I got a question right after this, so I'm just trying to let you get
Where you going? Where you going?
Yeah, where you going with it?
Huh? What you mean when I'm going?
All right. So you don't that was it? That was it?
I said look, and that's right, there you go. We talking about man.
What was your point?
My point is
God created a man and a woman. What's your point?
She
Get to the point.
Dating. What's the ultimate goal? She didn't say marriage. But what I'm saying to you, when God created man, he created a woman.
And I did say they could want to start a family. I might not have said it, but I'll say it. They could start a family and create. What you're talking about is creating a family, but what we're saying is a marriage, which is a law thing. And I have always said, if I slept with you, you my husband, okay? You my husband, because we had that lay down time, right? But that's what I say it is, but we don't say that. We say that the law is you will go to a judge or whoever, go through the legal system and say you're married. But there are people that are creating families in that they don't want to go through the legal system, and they feel that husband and wife are theirs because they have a family. Go ahead, Rodney. I'm
no, my question has everything to do with what you're saying, because I'm just going. All right, so are we talking about a legal marriage, or are we talking about a marriage between the marriage in the covenant, which is the covenant between a man, woman, and God, that they come together and they create this covenant? Now, which one are we talking about when we say marriage?
I don't know,
because they're two different things in my book. Just they're separated.
Yes.
So the legal system is the legal system. What you're saying, we legally get married, we go through the process, we get the paperwork, blah blah blah. Okay. That makes you legally married. Now, my question to you, Chef Dennis, is: can a person be married in that covenant with God without the legal system at all? In your opinion, Chef Dennis, that's what I want to understand.
No,
because you said no.
No,
the legal system has to be involved.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't agree with you.
Okay, but
yeah, I don't agree.
So because you don't, but watch this. Because you don't agree, I'm gonna get scripture for you, and it says, in that covenant of the marriage, when God is in that marriage, and that woman cheats on that man, the man can divorce her. So you have to get a legal divorce paper.
That is not true.
I'm talking about the Bible. I'm not talking about with the law.
I'm saying you're interpreting it incorrectly. That's what I'm saying to you.
It's got to be written.
It says written in there.
Yes, I'm gonna get it for you.
In the Bible, it says to have a divorce, you have to have a written document. That's what you're saying.
Lady T. Lady T. She know it. Lady T, am I saying something incorrect, Lady T?
Get the verse, please.
Lady T, am I saying something?
Verse, please.
See what you done started, Lady T? See what you started?
Oh, nope. This is exactly what I needed to get started.
Yeah. I need the verse. I'm ready to Google it because there's no verse that says you have to get a written anything to divorce.
Yeah, it is actually in the Bible.
It says written?
Yes, there is the law, because remember this. I will always say we are talking about.
I got you. Lady T, I got him.
Let me finish this. Okay, go ahead.
No doubt. No, Lady T, go ahead. Do your thing, girl.
Is all about law. And they did talk about it in the Bible about if a man wants to divorce his wife. And it's all about a man divorcing and not a woman divorcing. It is a man. So they do have it in the Bible about it. So, like I said, Jewish laws are extreme. There's hundreds. Back in the day, it was hundreds of laws. So this was one of them. And that's what he's going to bring up. I'm done.
Wait.
Lazy, why you got to do me like? Now, you want me to get it for you, Ronnie?
I don't even care anymore.
Okay,
you're right. I'm gonna go ahead.
You don't care.
This is what I'm gonna say to you because I'm gonna express my opinion.
And now
I'm gonna express my opinion because I believe that the marriage is between you, your wife, and God. That the law is not mandatory for you to be married. Just like that, because there's countries where people have get married for years and years. And there is no law. The thing is, they went before they got the priest and they did the ceremony just like people used to jump over the broom or this, that, and the other. And there was no law involved. So my thing is that marriage is a covenant between you, God, and you, God, and your partner. And that makes the marriage covenant. The law doesn't matter, in my opinion. So you can get married when it's just 3 people. Nobody else.
And sometimes it's no priest available.
Yeah.
Nobody but God, you, and the person that you're about to marry. Like that is what was back in the day. Really, really.
All right. So Ronnie, also too in the Bible. So when we get scripture, I get scripture for you. I get scripture quick for you. Also, remember, we have to, as a believer, as a follower of Christ, we have to obey the law. The laws of the land, and that is a law of the land that we have a marriage certificate.
Yeah, here, but there's also plenty of lands where they don't have that.
Listen to what I said. We live in this. We live in the United States.
About that. I'm making the point that it can happen. Yeah, but I'm talking about there's countries that don't have laws, that don't have that. The reason why in the United States, marriage is a $1 billion company. That's why we have the law.
And that is the reason why people do not want to get married. I will say for myself, I am not going to say that you rush and get into a marriage. That's not.
No, we're not saying that either.
But I will live with a man for years and not be married to him. I have no problem with that. Like, I do not feel like if I'm living with a man, I have to marry him. That is not what I think.
So in other words,
but
is that biblical? Is that biblical?
It is, because because you think that was it the woman at the well that Jesus spoke to and was like, the man that you living with ain't your husband. Whoever Jesus spoke to at that woman does not mean you know the situation and do not judge it. But I will say for me, I'm not condemned and I'm not shamed. If you try to put your law on me, I will flick you away. That's all. I'm not going to play these games. I'm not going to sit up here and play.
Who law though? Who law?
But you are saying what I should do for my life. I said I wouldn't have a problem living with a man and not being married to him.
All right, so if you disobey God's law,
that's not
right?
disobedience.
Huh?
If God told me to marry him and I didn't, that would be disobedience, but not what you say out your mouth for my life.
Wait a minute.
Get me? Did you hear what I just said?
So
listen to it one more time. If God tells me, if God tells me, not you, I will obey God when he tells me. Nobody else. You have no authority. I tell that to everybody.
But if God sends somebody to tell you and you refuse to listen,
I just told you, I don't
wait a
need
minute.
an intermediary. I don't need that. I need God to talk to me because I have a one-on-one. I got a one-on-one relationship.
So hold up, wait. So you telling me, Lady T?
Tell him, Lady
so
T.
you telling me
Devil could tell you to say the same thing.
You mean to tell me God don't send people to tell you to get you correct?
Because
you refuse to listen. You said, God don't tell me. God said, I'm sending somebody to you to listen. And you say, no,
I know when a man is projecting himself, pushing himself in all his ways.
I'm rejecting that. Don't say that.
You are.
Of course I'm because you ain't gonna say that God gonna tell you, and guess what? God's sending somebody to you, and you say, no, God didn't tell me. What you mean? How you know the difference between God and yourself and the Holy Spirit?
I know very
well. The relationship.
No, guess what? I have a great relationship. The difference is, guess what? There's nothing that the God is going to tell you that's going to be contrary to the word of God. He's not going to tell you that. He's not going to send somebody to you that's going to be contrary to the word of God. Nothing. God is going to use the person the way they're supposed to, because guess what? That's the message that God has for you. Period.
But just because somebody takes a different path than you think they should take doesn't mean they're not going to get to the same finish line.
I ain't say nothing about path.
But there's also
her path isn't your path, bro. So let her have.
I didn't say nothing about path.
Let Daryl talk.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I only got one thing to put in about common law. Now, it's not a lot of states have gotten rid of it, but common law marriage is still out there. So you could technically be with somebody for a period of time if that state recognizes common law marriage. Now, again, a lot of states have gotten rid of it. There are still a lot of states, probably a dozen or so, that recognize common law marriage, and you might not even know it. Because it's a lot of symbolism in the world surrounding marriage nowadays, and so some people just feel like, hey, I'm not going to violate the person I'm with, and some people feel like Lady T. Some people just don't know God in that way. So they believe what they believe culturally. I know cultures, I'm not going to mention them because I don't want them to feel offended. I know cultures that 2 weeks into dating, that's my wife. And they introduce that person as their wife, and she introduces him as her husband. And I believe they have that commitment. Now, it may not be the covenant. I don't know. That's where we get to going back and forth. We get to going back and forth. So it's like, but they honor one another. They honor one another in that way. So, you got to go back to the origination of it all and find out but what it's supposed to be like.
Look, it's supposed to be. See, let's keep it in perspective. First, it's supposed to be a relationship. The man's have the relationship with God first, right? And then after that, it's the wife, the relationship. So if you don't have the right relationship with God, how you gonna have the right relationship with the woman?
Your version of God.
Always there's people that have relationships with women that don't have relationships with God,
and they probably have very good
people.
Say that again, Rodney.
There's plenty of people that have relationships that don't have God involved at all and still have healthy relationships.
Yeah,
just doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Now, is it typical? No, usually no, it's not, but it still exists. You can't say that.
Good exists, bad exists. I got that, Rodney. We all got that. We all on one accord with that. Yes, we
But
know.
you're talking more of religiously,
No,
you know,
I'm talking about.
religiously. Yeah, you are, because you're saying more of, where is God? God's not there, and you're like, that's a religion thing where you're trying
Okay.
to look at it.
Okay.
Because
So
everybody is God's children, and God is there in each and everybody's life.
So since you put it like that, Lady T and Rodney, can you tell me? I want to know from your guys' mouth to my ears that why is marriage at a low? It's not successful. Tell me that.
Want me to go first?
Yes, go first.
Rodney, you were gonna say yes. You go?
Yeah, go ahead and go first, please, Lady T.
Come on. Tell the world why marriage is so depleted.
Okay. I like to close my eyes, so I'm going to try and keep my eyes open this time. I think marriage is the way it is because men feel betrayed, because the legal system is not on their side, especially if they have children. They already know that coming into a marriage and into a relationship or having children with a woman. So that's number one. That is why I think men are really looking at the lives of who they want to have in their life, if they want to wrap it up or if they want to just, dip out and just be like, I don't care. There is a reason. And the system is not set up for thriving families. That's what I will say. That is the bulk of it. But also, there is women. I will say I love my women. I love all y'all. Y'all great, but we got to get our stuff together and stop, becoming so materialistic and, doing the most, because we are doing the most. Always wanting to be seen, always wanting to have attention, always taking the role of, look at me. Look at me. Like, please have a seat. This is a time of modesty. We need to learn how to bring our men back into our arms, bring them into a relationship where it's a real covenant. So I think dating has changed because women have changed as well. Men are seeing the truth of what the system looks like for them. And I just don't think that it's going to work until we start changing as people. Women have to see what they are contributing to the relationship or not contributing. And men also have to do the same. And I think that it's a little bit different for men because the system is built to take your money. You have a child and you will, if that woman goes to court and, she will get your money. Okay. And you will be mad. Okay. Unless you are doing well and you could take care of your child. But that's what I mean. But that's the thing. People don't want to be in a relationship because of the way our systems are working right now. That's my personal opinion.
Rodney, go ahead.
No, I mean, I 100% agree with everything Lady T said, but I also want to add that marriage is $1 billion business. You know what else is $1 billion business? Divorce. They're both $1 billion businesses. So, therefore, the world makes a lot more money when people get married, divorced, married, divorced, married, divorced. So that's what the world puts out there. That's what the world teaches everybody, even subconsciously. The government has been doing it for years. In the 70s, you couldn't have a man in your house. You wanted any assistance from the government, couldn't have a man in your house. Then they came up with the strong black woman. You're strong. You don't need a man. Rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying? Now they got it so that it's judge people instantly. You ain't got to do this. If you don't like that person, you can actually just swipe and get a whole nother one. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like that one, guess what? That's all you got to do. It's that simple. And you just keep swiping. So you don't get to learn the person at all. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely don't feel, they're putting out the mindset that if I don't like anything at all, I can just skip to the next one. It doesn't even matter. I'm not going to sit here and try to work through that with him. I need this man to come to me perfect. And just like that, they're teaching the men the same thing. Yeah. What's crazy, and I talk to my guys now, it drives me crazy that now they feel like, you know, hey, if she don't want to do this, boom, I'll just get to the next one. Same thing. I got 100 more. Look, I can go through this, I can go through that. And you know what? Now I'm the prize. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't come into this relationship perfect, then I don't need them either. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, none of us are perfect. So there's no way that this system will work if that is the way the system is set up. And that is the biggest thing. So that's why it's work. That's why it's so much marriage and divorce, is because that's the way they want it to be. That's exactly what they want you to do. Get married, get a divorce. Get married, get a divorce. Because that is the way that they make money. They make money as it goes in. They make money coming out. And I mean, and this is as a person, I've never been through a divorce, but I know that every single person I've talked to did not come out richer after a divorce. So there you go.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I think combined with what Lady T and Rodney said, a lot of independence. People got married for stability, and they stayed together for that, and they loved who they loved, and they stuck together through hard times and rough times. As like you say, you start getting into the 70s, 80s, it started to be more about, hey, I don't need you. I'm getting assistance, so I don't really need you. And it's all cultures, really, not just minority culture, all cultures. You had wars going on. You had men being lost. Husbands were being lost in wars and stuff like that. So, and when you start to get up to it now, like you say, it's really going to have to go back to that, where you really need to hunker down. But women, I talk about it a lot in my book. First of all, they file about 65% upwards into upwards of 70% of the divorces, right? And then their incomes are exceedingly increasing over the past 20, 30 years. All right. Single women dominate home buying sales. So they're not just saying it, they're proving it in a lot of ways. So for men, the men that are out there, you got to come correct. You can't just think you're going to flashy up like in the 90s with the gold chain and the Audi or the Saab car and pull up on her, and she making 120, 140 a year, and she gonna fall for that. That's not gonna work. You know what I mean? So you really got to come correct nowadays, and people just aren't settling. And they seen in their homes what they thought their parents were doing. They thought their parents were settling. So that trauma combined with the opportunity that they don't have to be like that, I think is having an effect on the numbers. At the same time, I think it's going to start coming full circle over the next 5 to 10 years where people will start to get back together.
Yeah. Interesting. Well. I'm listening to you guys, and I'm just sitting here just thinking and just, I see the comments, I feel like a lot of marriages, so let me say this. So I don't want nobody, especially, this is a shout out to Rodney, especially to Rodney. Okay, because Rodney say I'm up here, so I gotta let me come down. Let me come down a little bit. Where the people at?
Nah. Eagles
let
don't
me
do that,
soar
bro.
let me soar down. Okay,
you coming down with the pigeons? Remember?
Let me come down.
Stay up there. Go ahead.
Let me come down, because Rodney always tells I'm up here. Let me come down. I'm down. Okay, Rodney, you all right?
With the peasants.
With the peasants. Okay, I'm with the peasants. Okay, I'm a peasant too. All right.
Nah.
Now, no, but what I want to say is that I realize that when you don't have God as the root of your marriage fails most of the time. Most of the time, it fails. There are successful marriages that longevity is in having God in the center of your relationship, your marriage. There have marriages that don't have God in the beginning, and then they transform, and then they get God in their marriage, and their marriage is stronger. It ignites, and so sometimes those are the things that happen sometimes. But when you don't have, my thing is when you don't have God, listen, trust me, you're going to go through things that you should not go through. You shouldn't, but you do because of the decisions.
You can do that with God too.
There are decisions that we make that cause us to go through things. That's called self-deflicting. God don't put certain things on you. We decide to do things and we cause the struggle. We cause the pain, and the strife. We do that. And so because God want to see us prosper. And so there are things that's in us that we have to push out. It's like a cup of water, right? If you filled only partially with God, you got to fill that cup up with God so it can be flowing. And so those little things that get into the water, you keep pouring that water in that cup, it's going to filter out. There's a thing. You don't understand what I'm saying, Rodney? Because you look lost. I'm asking you.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
No, do you feel what I'm saying? Because I'll make sure.
Yes,
you look like
no. Every cliche thing you're saying is true.
Yeah. It may be a cliche, but just think about it. You got to get a See, some people don't know how to be visionary. It's visual. I don't have a glass of water.
Okay, I still didn't get to say what I got to say, though. Go ahead. I think Lady T will say it for me.
Let me say this. I will say this. God wants us to be adventurous and be creative and do things in our lives that we will fall and stumble. God wants us to experience life. God wants us to know what it feels like to be in pain, honestly, to suffer. He wants us to understand what life is truly about. That does not mean you're stuck in a box and you have to do things a certain way. I'm sorry. I am a risk taker. I am a person that knows that God is still with me, even when I risk things that, might not look good to somebody else's eyes. I'm always protected because God is saying, yes, my child, you are the prodigal son that goes out and spends all the money out there in the streets, getting them whores. Go get them whores. And then I come back to God and he has open arms and says, I miss you. That is the God I serve when I know I'm making mistakes, but I'm covered.
Lady T, he acts like God just comes and washes you clean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter how much both people love God and how much there's still going to be difficulties, bro. It's still going to be problems. You made it sound like that just a second ago.
Bro,
you said you gotta have God because God takes away all the dirt and the filth and this, that, and the other. yeah, he do. But guess what? You might just not like that dude today. Like today, they just irritated you. You know what I'm saying? Or that woman today. Like sometimes that still don't make it like, now because we got God, our marriage is stress-free.
No.
Look,
that in stress, that's where you get patience. And see, that's where patience come in. I did not say that. Guess what? If you don't have patience and you pray for patience, do you think God give you patience or
no,
he give you
opportunity?
Exactly. So guess what? There are things that comes into your life because of your choice, the decisions that you make, you go through. But when you have God in the center, yes, God allow you to go through them so you can come out victorious.
Lady T.
Yeah,
in his mind, he's like, okay, everybody without God, it is the miserable most place in the world. But over here with God, it's peaches and cream. Look, we got marshmallows and everybody eats ice cream on Sunday.
Don't put those words in my mouth.
That's how you sound.
Yes. It's encouraging. Guess what?
It's not about encouragement.
No.
You encourage me when you're doing that.
Because that's the way you want to tell the people. No, you can't tell me how to tell them.
That's how you're telling it.
Of course. Guess what? It's prosperity over here.
Prosperity is everywhere.
Yeah, what you talking about?
Prosperity is everywhere.
I never said you don't struggle with God. I didn't say that. I never said it wasn't pain. No, I never said that. So don't say those words in my mouth. Don't put them in my mouth. I don't claim that.
Then add them. You
No,
need to add them.
I never
you
tell
need
you.
to
No,
add
you
them.
I'm not
Okay,
adding
because
that.
you're telling us too much pieces and cream. Okay, Daryl, come on, hop
Ask a
in.
question.
I need you, Daryl.
Ask a question.
I think what Chef is really looking to bring this place to, because I connected with him a little bit on that, is that at some point, whether you came into your relationship with God or not, at some point you will need him. Now, that may not be true for everybody, though. I think that's what the masses, Rodney and Lady T, maybe I may be wrong in it, but that may not be true for everybody, because, you know, as a writer, I do a lot of studying, and I realize that there's a lot of people that don't serve what we would call the same God. They don't, and they have success in whatever they do. There's so many different religions out here. And so then you got to go into breaking that down and explaining that, you know, and, you know, so I hear what you're saying, Chef. I really do. You know, it's going to be better, but you have my grandfather, I couldn't tell you definitively that he prayed with my grandmother, but they was married over 60 some years. I mean, he was a believer. I never seen him do it. He didn't go to church. One of the best men I ever met in my life. Straight up dude, no distractions, no addictions, all about his family. He was that dude. But I think he believed how to treat people. That's what got him. He believed, love your neighbor that you love yourself. He believed in the golden rule. He believed all that stuff, and he practiced it. He treated everybody good, and you find that out. You know, at his funeral, I found out. I'm like, man, I thought you were great, but you were more like awesome. And so it's, you know, like I said, I feel you though. I feel you though, Chef. I feel you, man.
Hey, and the problem is with that is your grandfather. I'm sure he was all that and more. And Chef Dennis would belittle him because he didn't worship at church or something. You know what I'm saying? That's it. He gonna find something and then try to make it seem like that you know, there you go. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. We can keep it moving.
You better leave it alone.
I'm gonna keep it moving. Keep it moving.
No, at the end of the day, man, listen, but hey, you think so in other words, Rodney, so what you're saying is what I'm getting from you, you don't think you stronger with the Lord versus not having the Lord?
Didn't say that.
All right, so what you saying though?
At all.
So
I'm
what
just
you
saying, you make it seem like you make it seem like a person can't be successful. And I'm not saying that they can or they can't or they whatever the case may be, but what I'm saying is it's like, you know, I do know God, I have a relationship with God, but I'm not perfect. That doesn't make me perfect. I didn't come into this marriage perfect. I'm still not perfect. Even now that God is in my life, I'm still not perfect in this marriage.
So let me ask you a question. Why you keep saying that?
Why I keep
instead of saying
what do you mean?
Instead of I'm working towards perfection, why are you saying I'm not perfect?
Because I believe a person that thinks they can achieve perfection is delusional and is setting themselves up for failure.
Okay. If you want success and you don't speak it over your life, how do you expect to do it or even think about doing it if you don't say it?
That's not saying it. I never strive. I know I'm not going to be perfect, so I can never say that I, you know, strive for perfection. I strive to do the best that I can do every day, but perfection is not possible. And the only person that was perfect on this earth got crucified. So what do you want me to say?
Hey, Rodney, there's a reason. Watch this. There's a reason why God said repent daily. It's a reason why.
Yeah, because I need to repent daily.
No, but there's a specific reason why. I'll hang them up.
What do we say to the person that believes they've done that deep dive into everything you're saying, Chef? In their marriage, they've done that deep dive. They prayed together, they did all those things, and for whatever reason, and we could think of a lot of them, it didn't work. And I mean, at some point, it's not working. I mean, there's things to abuse, physical, mental.
Yeah.
I mean, because those lines, they have to be defined at some point.
Of course. You know, I had a discussion with a young lady before. Listen, a man that's abusive to a woman, that don't say anything about in the Bible where a woman can walk away from a man that's abusive. But guess what? There are laws that speak against that. And so that is a way a woman can leave that marriage and leave because that man's abusive. Because God says, love your wife like you love the church, right? So he not loving her, not beating on her, not bruising her. You understand what I'm saying? So that's not love. That's abuse.
But that abuse is what she's coming out of, and she's there now. You know, a woman could not even get a bank account, could not even buy a house on her own years and years ago. She couldn't vote. I mean, it's when you go back and
that
really
was a law too.
It, it was a law. When you go back and really look at it, that mental abuse that she probably felt helpless. I can only imagine. I'm not gonna bring up the S word with it. You know, that's taking it down another road. But it was mental abuse. I believe it was mental abuse to tell her you got to sit here and take care of these kids. Don't go outside. Don't do this. Don't do that. And she may want to escape, and the whole county, the whole town is like, you know, you can't leave your husband. What are you gonna do? You can't get a job. I mean, this was still relevant in the 50s and it started breaking up in the 50s and 60s, but this was all relevant. And then you have people that saw this. So it's not going to be an easy transition. It's going to be a little rough. And I think it's starting to die down. I write about it in my book. I really don't think women want to be as independent as they are now. I still think they still want that monogamous relationship. I think they desire that. That's what it was designed to do. But again, we went through this period of time, and now it has to go, and it's almost like the market has to correct itself. It's got to be some correction going on because it was not cool.
Rodney, you look like you want to say something.
Oh no, I'm good. But he said everything I was thinking.
Yes, you did, Daryl. Thank you for that. You brought up some great points, and that is very true. And it's, you know, when you deal with a certain perspective in life, this is all about a patriarchal type of, you know, system that we've been living under. And your examples of what has happened in this country, there are other examples of that happening in other countries that are worse.
Still now.
That is, yeah, still today. So that is something that is, you know, affecting the human psyche. It affects the human psyche of how we look at our women and how they are viewed and how they are respected or not. So I'm glad you brought that up. But Chef, when it comes to this conversation, I think that you have to, and I'm going to say this, we have to do this a little bit more often to get out of the Bible and get into the metaphysical, learn the metaphysical laws of life, because that's what Jesus was doing. He was showing himself to do a certain work and to be a person and tell us we can do these things, but it was it was stolen. It was robbed from us for various reasons. We know our history. We're not going there, but now it's time to wake up, do it in the right manner. Like, that's what we should be talking about, not these laws in the Bible, about spiritual laws. Hey, that's what we should be talking about. Hey,
Lady, I'm a man, right?
Yeah.
And so,
I
thank God that I had my father, my grandfather, and other people, other men that I could look up to and say, you know what, them some good men. And I thank God they in my life, right? And so I had to walk on my own. I had to get my own journey. And my own journey consists of some of the things that I've seen in those men, especially in my father. Did my father have some bad habits? Yes. Those are the habits that I plucked out. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be better. Doesn't mean that my father wasn't great. So I had great role models right? And so now here I am, a man, a father, a brother. I'm being a role model. So guess what? I'm not trying to live a non-righteous. I'm trying to be righteous. I'm trying to be holy and do the things right. So I'm humble enough to say when I step out of line, God checks me. So that's why I always give Rodney his flowers, because when he feel like I'm stepping out of line or what's up, I say, yo, okay. I go back and I say, all right, you know what? Because it's not about an argument. It's not about a debate. It's about me being a living example of what Christ did for me. So I tried my best to live righteous and holy. And so that's why my responses are the way they are sometimes. And I'm not talking about in this conversation. It's people that come against me. My response, it's not from my emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's from my spirit. So I know my actions can cause me to get into something that I might not be able to get out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always thinking spiritually about how I respond in certain circumstances, certain situations. Because there are a lot of people out here that do not like faithful and religious people. They don't like them. They speak against them. They despise them. And so I understand that. I get it. Doesn't mean that I have to respond in a negative way. No, I don't. But that comes from practice. If I'd never practiced that, I would not be able to do that. I was like, what would you say? Go upside the head. Now I got to get arrested. I got to get locked up or brutality. No, I don't respond like that. And how did I derive at that mentality? It's because of the role models that I've seen. And guess what? I'm standing in the gap for other men that do not know that, don't understand that. And so for me, right, is Christ. That's the center of how I've become this new man. So my old ways, I passed away. I renewed my mind and still working. That's why some places I don't go, some things I don't do, because guess what? If I partake in that, there may be a slip up. I ain't trying to slip up.
So you don't want what you're saying, Chef, you don't want no rocks crying out for you.
Some who?
Rocks.
Some rocks.
Rocks.
What's that? I never heard that before.
Oh yeah, in the Bible.
You don't want no rocks crying out for you. No, you're gonna elaborate on that. Well, I'm just saying you're gonna tell it and tell it loud, because if you don't, the rocks will cry out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying you don't want no rocks crying out for you?
Nah.
In essence, that's what you're saying.
Basically, I mean, listen, it's about my walk.
The good thing about what you're saying now, and Lady T talked about it, is you have a platform where you can have that conversation, because those people that have been religiously scarred or church shamed, they have
shout out to Malik.
At the end of the day, they have a gripe, and a serious one. I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of embracing them where they are, depending on where you are, embracing them where they are, and just allowing them to be who they are. Because 9 times out of 10, if you do it any other way, it really fits the narrative that they already believe. It fits that narrative. You know, I'll tell you one thing, and I hope I'm not off topic when I say this. You know, the church, I grew up in the church. Church taught me a lot, gave me confidence. Every week or on holidays, standing in front of the church, having to recite whatever the play was, gave me confidence. You know, at the same time, when I got into a little incident at 16, they were the first ones to kind of shut me down too, as opposed to embracing me as their son. So there's a lot of history there within the church that may also be having an impact on marriage and relationships and those things. Because for me, when I got married, is you bring a woman home, the first thing my family would say is what church she go to. Not if you love her, what church you go to, you know?
Foundation.
Well, maybe foundation, but maybe. But it was format for me. It was format. It was almost like, wait a minute. So I thought I was in the right lane. So I didn't ever really. I thought I was in the right lane. Oh, she go to church, she this, she that, check all the boxes. So, like Lady T said, some things are done in different ways, and we just have to embrace it, respect it, and allow it to take its course. Because our thoughts are not God's thoughts are not our thoughts. His ways are not our ways, and so it can't be just that one single line to get where He wants you to be. Everybody's not going down that same path. We all have our own path, our own journey.
Oh, I was going to say that I don't believe the government laws have anything to do with the marriage between a woman, man, and God. That's how I feel. I wanted to go back into that real quick.
You say that again, Rodney? I didn't hear what you said. Say that again.
Government laws have absolutely nothing to do with your marriage. That is the covenant between you, your wife, or your partner, you, your wife, if it's me, and God. That covenant does not have to do. You don't have to get a marriage license. You don't have to do this. You can make that covenant with God without even a pastor there. That is something that is between you and your partner and God. If nobody saw y'all got married, you don't have a marriage certificate, that doesn't mean that you don't have a covenant with God. It don't mean that. So that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. And the other thing I wanted to get back to, because Lady T kind of already proved it, that there are a lot of laws. Now, let me finish. There are a lot of laws.
You gonna finish? Jump you.
There are a lot of laws that are made for either the man or hurts the man in different countries. In some countries, you can have 12 wives. In some countries, you can have this, and these are laws. So therefore, I don't believe that the law has to be involved at all. Now, if the law says in 2 years, because y'all live together, you married, but in my opinion, if you never invited God into that marriage, you're not married in His eyes. That is still how I feel. So there you go.
Hey, Rodney.
Yes, sir.
So I heard you say
you're not gonna go to God and be like, here's my marriage certificate. Okay. So that was not unmarried sex. Here you go, God. And God's gonna say, oh, my bad. Maryland says it's good. Okay, my bad.
Hey, y'all hear him, right? Okay, I got you. Okay.
You can't do that. You're not gonna be up there giving them a marriage certificate.
Make sure you have an answer for this. Now, two things. Do you feel like I heard you say earlier, other countries you can have multiple wives, right? Some do that, right? Do you feel like a man can have multiple wives?
No, I don't.
Darryl?
I feel like the covenant is between you, your partner, one partner, and God.
Darryl, do you?
It.
Well, no, I don't believe it, nor can I afford it. I can't,
I will ask Lady T.
Rodney, also in those places, you have to be able to afford them. You can't just have them. You got to be able to afford them.
And I know what you're talking about. I know which one because I was just at a.
Now let me say this, Chef. Let me say this.
I can't afford my wife. I got now.
I got
so
one for you, though. This gonna be an answer for you. Go ahead, Darryl. Go ahead.
No, get it off, man. I don't want to ruin your flow. Get it off.
No. What I was gonna say is any person that think they can have multiple wives. I'm gonna ask one simple question: can you have multiple mothers? No, you only can have one mother. Why is that? That don't make sense. You only can have one mother, one father. That don't make sense.
Roddy crazy. Well, like I said, man,
it's nothing you can do. You only, huh?
I didn't like that. I don't know why.
I'm sorry.
It sounds weird.
You only can have one mother. So you only your mother birthed you, and that's it.
What that got to do with?
I don't know why you brought the mother up.
Because guess what? Everything in life has a purpose, and that purpose is for you to be with one woman. One woman.
Yes, and that
so if it's
just say that. Don't bring the mom into it.
You only because you only can have one mother.
No,
biological.
That's biologically, yes, you can only, but men can have several wives. This is not, something that's,
listen
not
to what
true.
I said.
No,
You can only
listen,
have
it's-
one mother, but several
okay,
wives.
so guess what? No, you listen.
Your
Several
example
wives.
goes with I can have 15 wives because I got 15 cousins. That's what your example does. It doesn't matter anything.
Where
Like,
that makes sense.
okay,
Hey, Roddy, I said you only can have one mother, one biological mother, right?
Right.
that has nothing to do with your wife. What does
That
that?
nothing to do with
You
the wife.
choose your wife.
No,
You don't choose your
listen,
mother. You're
And
never
the intent
asked to be
is for
born.
you. The
Not one
intent
person
is
was
for
ever
you to
asked to be
have
born,
one
sir.
I
wife.
don't agree. No.
One, you supposed to
thank
only
you,
have one
Molly,
wife.
for
But
bringing it
can
up.
we have
Abraham
multiple?
had 3 wives. So yeah, so you're basically putting a lot of law of what you think is the law of, you know, the land of the lives of everybody
you
around
mean?
here. No, it's not that way every way. That is the reason why men are able to have multiple wives. Women cannot have multiple men.
No. When
You
you
know,
really
that think about what I
Hey,
just said.
hold on,
If a woman has multiple men, she's getting pregnant eventually, and then that's all shut down. But a man could go out there and have multiple wives.
Lady
You know,
T,
can stick it, dip
that
it,
comes
roll
from the
out
sin,
to the next
the
one.
sinful mind. I asked you earlier when
If
God
that-
created Adam, he only created one woman. So when after sin hit the earth, guess what? Yeah, all those things we do now because of the sinful mind. Yeah, but guess what? When God created Adam, he only created Eve, one person.
That is the story that we know.
But
We know that, Chef.
but guess what? It has logic behind it. That's why I said
The logic
you
is
only
all
can
about
have
resources.
one mother.
Yes, but it's all
Yeah.
about resources. If you take yourself out of what you think it is, just take yourself out of that box
I'm not
for a
taking-
moment.
that's
Just take
logic.
yourself out the box
That's
for
science.
a moment.
That's
just
science.
take yourself out the box and just take yourself out of the box of what you think it is. Look at it as everybody's resources are different, and people will spread their wealth however they want to. And if you can get multiple wives and have multiple resources. That is your life. Not everybody can do it, but there are still people in this world that still live like that today,
Correct.
where they have multiple wives. That's
Correct.
my point, you know, and we're not sitting up here saying that, you know, you're wrong on it, because that's not for us to say.
Yeah,
That
you
is
can't
not for
condemn 'em.
everybody, though.
Yeah, I don't know if you can condemn them. Now, let me ask you this, and for you too, Lady T. So one of my clients, and for those of you that are of this ethnic background, you probably know what I'm talking about. In your audience, I mean, I was at a customer's house, and I stumbled over, not looking, but just moving some boxes out of my way to work. And one of the papers was a power of attorney over his wife. Young lady, not in any medical problems, not anything. He had financial and physical power of attorney over her. Now, in his country, he wouldn't need that. But because he came to the US at this time, he needed it. So in the same way, I would say, you probably wouldn't let Lady T, you probably wouldn't allow it. But would either of you gentlemen even bring that to your wife and say, I need to have power of attorney over your finances and your physical being? Basically, you can't leave, and the money you have is my money.
Well, see, no, I like this. I'm gonna answer.
And they do it just to stay in line with the topic. That is their religion.
Right.
And see,
If that's your religion, you grew up in it. Yeah, that's
Right.
different.
yeah. That's their thing. Now I wouldn't do that because she got that. So
In the same way, that man and those women, those what they're known as concubine, that man and those women, that's their culture. That's their religion. That's what they allow. Well, I'm not gonna blame it on their religion because I don't know the in-depths of it, but it's definitely their culture.
They grew up with that. That's how their
Yeah.
lives are.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney, what about
What's
you?
your answer? All right. What?
I said no. I'm not doing that. I wouldn't.
I would pray that I would never need to do that. So my answer is no. But if it was part of my culture, who knows? It's part of my culture to get married and get a certificate from the government. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and where the symbol, where the symbolism.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing is, if it's part of your culture, then that's up to y'all. I would pray I would never need to do that. That's all.
Yeah.
Lady T,
I wouldn't judge. I'm not a judgy guy.
You gonna sign off on it, Lady T?
I think that it would take a great conversion to it, right? I would have to convert to something else, right? Because that's not my normal way. And I can't say that that's something I could agree with, but it would take a great, conversion of God to do something like that for me. I look at that as, for me, I see that as giving authority over to somebody else, right? That's how I see it. And I know we look at marriage as, a man findeth the woman is a good thing, but the two identities are supposed to become one, but the one that has the most power is not really two becoming one. And I have a problem with those type of, mentalities, those behaviors. And so I always want to, be bullish. I'm a bullish type of person where, I'm trying to, get myself to be more of a lady with it. But, I feel like that is like not a respect for a woman, because two are supposed to come together, and not have more power than the other. So that's my problem with it.
You have authority issues.
I do have my own authority. You're right.
I agree with you, Lady T, and I don't believe in that I am more powerful than my wife or she's more powerful than me. I believe that we came together and together we come to God, and that is our greatness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to say, I would never sit here and be like some people on this podcast who act like, they are the
It's called
they
help.
are the 90% and
it's called help me. I'm gonna tell you the right
the
term.
wife is the 10%. You know
Help
what I'm
me.
saying? Like, I don't put a percentage on my marriage because sometimes I'm the 10%. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm the 90%. Sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that, sometimes my wife is this, sometimes my wife is that. You know what I'm saying? A part about being in a successful marriage, in my opinion, is that when you understand that y'all are in this together no matter what. So if you got to do what it is, there's no job here that is my wife's job. You know what I'm saying? Now there's things that my wife do that is way better than I do. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing here that is considered my wife's job, just like there's nothing here that is considered my job. Now, do I get up and take up the trash? Yes, because I feel like that is something that I want to do, and I feel that it is my responsibility. But would my wife take out the trash if I wasn't home? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's no real job. I think that is just another construct that was created, and that was created by men. That was not created by God. That was created by men to say, hey, you stay in the kitchen. This is where you're supposed to be.
You helpmate.
You're my helpmate. So only thing you're supposed to do is cook, clean, and look good. That's it. I don't need. If I needed your opinion, I would have got a husband.
So, Rodney,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, but let me ask you something. Go ahead, Daryl. Go ahead.
Well, that's what Rodney broke down was what I mean by that market correction, because it wasn't that way. The man go to work, he come home, he sit down. Where's my supper? You know what I mean? And it was I'm a big fan of the Honeymooners. I don't know, y'all can watch it, but I'm a big fan of Honeymooners, because it gives me that perspective of that time period so that I can understand it better. Right. And it is good to watch because that's where you start to see the woman start to put her foot down. She started to say, I ain't having this.
Then they used to still spank they could be able to spank their wives.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That crazy? That ain't even 100 years old.
I don't say
They used to be able to spank their wives and it was legal.
Yeah. And so with that combination, and what a lot of today's women have seen more so, I'm 52. So a lot of them in my generation, they've seen their moms take some stuff that they said, I ain't dealing with that. Mm-hmm. Or their aunties, I ain't dealing with that. So that's what you have.
She coming back.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, I understand, bro. I'm with you. But I'm just, Hey, some people, Daryl, believe
Chef,
that.
Chef, hey Chef,
believe
hey,
something
Chef,
totally different.
Chef,
This
I'm
my-
with you, Chef.
He my brother. He my brother. He always got to say, got to shoot at me. Ta 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 ta. He got blazing. He blazing. He be blazing.
At the
end of the day, I believe what you're saying again, Chef, is taste and see is good. You know, taste and see is good. You're the type of person that you want everybody to experience what you experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. We should all we do it with vacations, we do it with different phones we use and different movies we watch, and so I think that that's what it feels like to me. You're saying, hey, now only thing is where you might get a little pushback is to condemn those that don't have God in their relationship just yet.
All right, so look, I'm gonna go back what y'all said earlier. Listen, Rodney, this is why women, they have a natural characteristic that men don't have when it comes to taking care of the home. That's a natural characteristic. It's not natural for a man. We got to be taught how to do that. Guess what? It comes natural. If they have a natural touch, that's because they are nurturers. So when you talk about cooking and cleaning, it's about nurturing. And so guess what? They do that for the kids. So it comes natural for them. Men are supposed to go out and work. So those things like that are not natural. You can say what you
your
want
profession is then your profession is a woman's profession. If that's
no, bro, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
your profession is a woman's profession. According to what you just said, your profession is a woman's profession.
Hey, a woman's hands is supposed to be soft. Why?
Okay.
Your hands.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's your philosophy.
Most men's hands that's working every day, hard labor, their hands ain't gonna be soft. What you got that face for? What you got that face for?
I'm waiting for the
you want your wife touch you with rough hands or soft hands? Which one?
I don't. Look, my wife. Here's what I want. I want my wife's hands to be soft to me and rough to you. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Daryl, he capping because you don't want to answer the question. I asked you, do you want your wife to touch you with soft hands or rough hands? Which one you want to?
I just answered it.
Well, you want her to touch you with soft hands or rough hands?
My wife, I want my wife to touch me with soft hands.
Right,
but when she touch you, it's rough.
Why?
That's what I want. So you may go, his wife
touch me.
When my wife touches you, you may go, ooh, his wife got rough hands. Oh, that's terrible. And when she touches me,
man.
I may be like, no, I'm serious. Because everybody's opinion is different. Everybody's opinion is different. Everybody's opinion is different.
It's not about opinion.
I may look at your wife's hands.
He's keeping it real, Shaq.
I may look at your wife's hands and be like, they rough.
Hey,
like I don't know. I don't know. My opinion of rough and your opinion of rough could be totally different.
He being funny. Keep it real, Dad. You want a woman to touch you with soft hands, right?
I
do, Chef. But remember, Chef.
What?
I'm a carpenter. I worked in the field. I don't have rough hands. I pride myself on not having rough hands. I work with some women that have got some rough hands. I don't know what they're gonna do because I'm just saying.
And those hands may be soft to me.
No, they're not. No, they're not, Rodney. They're gonna be soft to you.
Maybe. I don't know.
See, Rodney, I know. See, Rodney capping. He ain't keeping it real, man. He talking about something.
Hey, bro.
You ain't keeping it real, bro.
Like, you need to put some gloves on them things. You save them while you can, baby. Them things is rough, man. That's not gonna work.
Hey, I met a woman. I had to tell her to walk on her hands.
That's too much, Rodney.
Hey, look, at the end of the day, hey, Dow, this is what we do, man. We encourage, but we have fun here too. It ain't no serious mad fate. We all laughing, we joking.
Of course, man.
Thing. That's what it's supposed to be.
But I was serious when I said what I said.
Yeah, you were.
You was serious. What? She ain't gonna touch me. I'm like, how you doing, man? God bless you. So she ain't gonna touch me. She might give me a hug. That's about it.
That's it. And when she hug you, I want you to be like, "Oh, her hands are rough." That's all I'm saying. I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna keep it to myself.
It may seem Her hands may seem rough to you. They may seem gentle to me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she didn't lotion up right before you got because it was God ordained that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, bro.
Coming at you, Chef.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I want to listen. I encourage. That's what I want to do. I ain't say, look, I never, Daryl, he's new. So guess what? Hey, Daryl, you witnessed this. I never said I want anybody to walk a life like I walk. Never, ever. I will never say that. I want you to walk in my shoes. My shoes are mine. My walk is my walk. But guess what? In that walk, there are things that you're going to encounter.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to encounter long suffering, pain, struggle. Yeah, we're going to go through that, Rodney. So who says you ain't going to go through something in a marriage? Who say you ain't going to go through? You're going to go through stuff. You're going to have fuss and fights.
I wasn't the only one that felt like you were saying like it was all peachy keen. I wasn't the only one, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's all, listen, at the end of the day, guess what? Put like this. A tree, right, has roots.
Uh-oh. Here we go, ladies.
What's the root? What's the root of your relationship? Is it well grounded? Is it deep enough? Or is it shallow? Which one is it? I feel like God is the root to my relationship. And if you know what I'm talking about, trees, I'm not using the tree as an analogy because guess what? They deep. You can't just pull up a tree. You got to get to the root.
So was God the root in your first marriage?
Of course he was. But guess what? Guess what? But you know what? No, what I did, what I
rooted that.
No, what I've learned now, I didn't learn then. I didn't learn it. I wasn't seeking God wholly like I am now. You know what I'm saying? God was in my life then. But guess what? Now, when you want to talk about holy and thou and better than somebody, that's how I treated her. I was better than her. See what I'm saying? See, I can open up and say that that's how I was. I was like that then, saying I was better. You got these demons inside you. Get them out. No, that's not how you talk to nobody that want to come to. No, I'm for real. You laugh.
We believe you. In your life.
But that's what I was
hilarious.
saying. That's up. You got demons in you. Come out of here. And who talks like that?
You was really doing that.
I did.
I believe him.
And guess what, Rodney? And because I said that, look, that would make anybody say, I don't want to serve the same God you serve. You talking about demons come out of me. No. No.
Well, hey, but listen, hey, Chef.
Yes.
You weren't the only one that ever did it.
No, I know, but I see most
you know
people they won't talk about it. They so afraid. I'm not afraid.
People doing it right now.
Yes,
they might get off. They might be watching the podcast and shut it down and go tell their spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I rebuke you.
Yeah, come on. You and that wasn't and to be honest with you, Rodney, that wasn't spirit led. That was emotions. That was, me not being good. You know what I'm saying? But now I would never tell a person that. You know what I'm saying? God had to really lay that on my heart to speak out to that person like that. But I'm not like, come on, you don't do that to nobody you supposed to be married to. You know what I'm saying? Talking bad to him. Like I talk bad. I wasn't talking peace. I wasn't talking love. So guess what? Yes, that's not gonna work. And I didn't do everything.
Was calling her the devil herself, the devil himself.
I was.
Go back to the
I feel bad, but what can I do? That like you, when you say them things, I'll be like, oh no, I ain't.
Oh, man.
But you didn't real. Hey, Chef, did you ever rebuke her?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't say rebuke. I said you got demons in you. Get out.
I thought you might
was in that. Chef was in that joint with the cross and the holy water and everything.
Roddy joke. Yeah, man. And so Roddy, look, you can't talk to nobody like that. So I understand. So I understand how not to talk to people like that. That hasn't came to Christ. I get it. I've been through it. That was a trial and tribulation that I had to go through. I felt bad. You know what I'm saying? That like, come on. I don't want to make nobody feel like where you at in your life that you can't come to God. See, God wants the broken. He relates to the broken more so than anything. because that's why Jesus came for the non-believers. So Lady T say, because if you believed in him already, you follow him already. You got
This
him in your
new,
heart.
Lady T. Ain't this new? This new.
Yes.
What you mean
new?
new?
This new.
It's new.
What's wrong with you, man?
Uh,
You don't be listening to me. Go back and listen to some of this.
this is new.
You don't be
I'm not
listening.
the only one saying it, bro. Even the
Don't be
people in the comments. Even
Yeah.
the people in the comments, like, hold on, Chef got a whole new philosophy. He ain't tell nobody until today.
Nah, because look, that's how it was, man. That's how I used to be, bro. Like I ain't that way no more. Like that hurt me because I think about how I make people feel when it comes down to that. When it came down to that, I made her feel at that time. That's not right. And so I practice daily. I just had a conversation with somebody, I'm not gonna say their name. I had a conversation with somebody, right? And we start talking about God. And I know they walk. They having a tough time with that relationship because they have their own beliefs. But we began to talk about it. And I was led to talk about it. Regardless of what I know, I was talking to that person. And they don't believe the same thing I believe. But guess what? I did it with a loving heart. Not to say, oh, well, you know what? If you do this, God's going to do this. No, I didn't say all that. It's that relationship. And let God speak to your spirit. Let God speak to you. Let God guide you. Not me, but it's the relationship part. That's key. Because what I say out my mouth is what I'm saying. Yes, the Holy Spirit speak through me, but guess what? You might not receive it in that time. You might receive it later. You might receive it 2 months from now, 3 months from now, because your ear is not open to receive it at that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
The social experience is very important.
And that's that's why. And look, and Lady T always thinks when I come with something like this, she always think, nah, man, listen. Marriage, the purpose of marriage is family, unity, right? Union, loving, unconditional love versus the dating season. I feel like dating season is the preparation to get to know that individual that you may be seeking for marriage. Men.
But it shouldn't be verses. You need to take the verses.
Now, because guess what? I put verses because
one leads to the other, hopefully.
Right. But guess what? Some people just say, you know what? I'm stuck in this dating season and they don't want to get married. They say, you know what? I could live with this person.
Who's that person?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Somebody you know, I guess.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it ain't my family. Okay. I don't put my family on blast. I want to. And I ain't talking about you, Lady. Other people
on blast.
Nah, I'm gonna do that. Lady, you shouldn't say that. Oh, there's a lot I put on blast, but this ain't the platform for that. This ain't the setting. You know what I'm saying? It's the dinner table. No, it's not, because we don't do that here. We don't do that. We don't speak negative. But Lady T know what I'm talking about. Just being her. I'm watching T. No, man, listen. That and I'm big on marriage because guess what? Yes, I've been through. This is my second marriage, and guess what? This right here, 6 years only. 6 years in, Daryl. That's it. 6 years. We had ups and downs. Yes, we have. But guess what? What I've been through before, I won't go through the same thing. I'll seek out here.
Convince somebody here, Chef. Because I heard, you're going to go through a lot of stuff, turmoil and this and that. We need God. Convince somebody here the benefits. There may be somebody, and a lot of somebody, according to the numbers, there's a lot of people that just don't believe in marriage anymore.
All right. So, if I...
The benefits of your... right.
Marriage benefits. While AT laughs.
I'll wait on Chef Dennis. Go ahead.
Benefits.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First of all, true. Like it depends on the individual that you choose. It's your selection, and that person. For me, I'll say for me, and
I hope so.
Look, my first selection was it had to be a woman of God who seek out God first. That had to be the number one for me. Okay. Then after that, then I had to get to know their parents, their background, get to know their family, see their traditions.
That's not answering the question.
No, thank you.
What you mean?
What are the benefits of marriage?
Unconditional love, faithfulness, building wealth, generational wealth.
Challenges. Those are challenges.
No, what you mean challenges? Not. Hold on. I answered the way you want me to answer, and it's
not benefit.
But why not? But for a minute, Chef, go a little further with the family piece, because a lot of times some people are turned off because the family dynamic may be different. I will say that sometimes the family dynamic is different. Like, I'll be honest with you, what I found, 52 years old, I found, man, I don't know if I can say this right now, but I'm gonna say it because it is what it is. Sometimes a woman that may not have had a great relationship with her dad, she may have different challenges and issues if she was not validated by that, So her background is very important. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's one of the benefits of it, but when you mention family, to know that they may not have a strong foundation for their family, and I guess you found your wife did.
Me? Yeah.
Okay, so that was one of the benefits for you.
Yeah, but the benefits for me, like, all right. So if let's say, how can I say this?
Plain and straight.
I'm gonna keep it straight. I keep it transparent.
I
do. Like, when you say benefits, it's like in serving God, there are great benefits. You know what I'm saying? For me, like, I can't speak for somebody else. I know having him on my side, he's my provider, my sole provider, everything I do. When I consult with him, and guess what? If it's going to be finance, it's going to be the job that I'm supposed to be in, and it's going to build finance for me. It's going to give me wealth, not just enough, but it's going to be enough to provide for my family. You understand what I'm saying? So I get the wisdom. So with the wisdom, I know how to maintain that. I'm a certified chef. And so guess what? I had to go through things to get to where I'm at right now. And it was my faith that got me to where I'm at. And so when I look at marriage, the benefits of marriage, like I said, when you get the right person, for me, and I would encourage others, is that the faith, because everything that comes under that is finance. It's a benefits in finance, because guess what? You guys become one, and you guys know how to work together as a team. So you're a strong team of two. But if you have children, then you have a strong family with mom and dad growing together, teaching them wealth, teaching them finance, teaching them how to love one another as a brother or a sister. You know what I'm saying? So you teach in love. So love is something that's taught. So benefits is true love. You know what I'm saying? And you understand that we going to go through things. You understand? So, through the tough times, I'm still going to love you, even when I can't stand you. Even when I'm ready to go upside your head, but I'm still going to show you love. So you talking about benefits. That's the benefits of being in a marriage that's going to, stability. You know what I'm saying? With the right person. When things get rough, maybe she might be able to hold it down, and you struggling, versus the man doing everything. You know what I'm saying? The father in the house being present and active to his children, versus not being in. So you said benefits of being a father that's active and present to your children, to your wife. It brings great joy to me to see my family happy, not separated. It's bring great joy to me to see my children grow up as young ladies get married, have children, and doing everything that they're supposed to. So it brings great joy to me to see. So the benefit for me is just joy of seeing how God works in me.
I get it. It sounds like to me that you probably need to do a series, not on this particular topic in general, but on some of the stuff that you unpack there, because not everybody can get to that finish line. Because there's, like I said, there's a missing piece there where things weren't passed down. That's why it's so elating to you now. But those things that you mentioned, that was the foundation of marriages 50, 60 years ago. That's what held them there. That was the benefit. Those were the benefits, some of those things and more. So, and like I said, it's being corrected because things, people went out and they did what they wanted to do. And whether you get married or not, like Lady T said, hey, I'm going to do it like this, you know? So whether you do it or not, I think people are starting to come back into that oneness.
They down. One thing I would encourage men is about community too, and see community, other men, being around other men that's husbands and fathers that's, you know, not just successful, but they working towards greatness, and that's important. And so when something a piece of them is missing, they haven't been taught. It's good to be in the right community, around the right resources, so you can grow to be the man that you need to be, or the woman. Same thing. Women do it all the time. So women have a more a heart for that. Just get with other women, regardless if they know them or not. They bond real well. Men have a difficult time with bonding with other men, and so that I feel like that's something great right there that we as men need to do more, so we can be stronger for our families. Because there are some things that our parents don't teach us that we need to learn. And guess what? How are we going to learn if nobody's really teaching us? We talk about community. We talk about other men looking to be good husbands. But how can they even think about being a good husband if they don't know what a good husband look like?
All righty. This was great. Yes.
Lady T.
Lady T didn't have really too much to say today, I know.
Oh, Lord.
I'll see you tomorrow, Lady T.
Yeah.
We spending holiday together, y'all. Yes.
Good luck, Lady T.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Hey, look, hey, Darryl. She gonna have a lot of kisses on her.
Yep. I can already tell.
That's good.
Listen,
man. That's
oh
good.
my goodness,
y'all
man.
support one another.
Listen, y'all, of course. Listen, this was a good conversation. Look, it was 2 hours long. Ain't this something? 2 hours long.
Hey.
Daryl got you started. That's what I was thinking. I was like, Daryl's doing it.
Yeah.
Listen, hey Darryl, man, you gotta come back again, man. Listen, I'm always
absolutely.
You gotta really come back again, and we can do it again. Have some a discussion with Lady T topics. She got a whole nother list of topics.
Yeah.
Put them in the book, so Lady T become with some real deal stuff.
I could imagine.
Listen,
That's
this is gonna be an ending of our show. And listen, by the way, hold on. But before I do this, wait a minute. Hey Darryl, you gotta go check out Dad Mentality. You gotta go check that out. You gotta connect with him. And then your book, put up in the chat. We can find your book.
Chat, man. I was looking for the chat.
Down at the
Let me see it.
Tell people they can find your book, so they can get your book. I know I heard you say it's on Amazon.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Ooh, we learned something new, Lady T, before the new year. Found out some new things. We found he finally came down to hang out with the pigeons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's We starting to get there, Lady T. I think slowly but surely we getting them off that high horse. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, we starting to get them to come hang down with us.
I don't know why. Hey, Rodney, you the only person out of all the people in my circle say that. You the only one. Why?
Right.
Sir, you said it. I didn't say it. I just want you to understand.
No, I'm talking about you the only one that say what you saying.
No,
Nobody else
I'm the only
that.
one that calls you out for it.
No, you bugging. You bugging.
Yeah. I'm the only one who calls you out for it.
I got real deal ops.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, but the ops know they don't, you know, they already know you up there. That's why they're the ops. You know what I'm saying? See, me, I'm trying to help you. I just want you to just bring, you know, just a little bit, just take a little air out the balloon. That's all. Just a little air. Sometimes you just be flying too high all the time. So, you know.
Oh, man.
Okay, here we go.
Copy and paste.
You got
yeah.
Oh, no. Hold on. You put it in private chat.
Yeah, I see that.
You know, but we getting there, Lady T. I feel like we starting to work on them.
Yeah, 2026 gonna be interesting.
Yeah, man. Hey, he gonna give all the credit to the King's Movement too. We're gonna do all that work. Like, just because of the King's Movement, I'm a better man today.
Yeah, that's what he's
Meanwhile, we've been over here doing all the hard work, chipping away at him.
Exactly.
Chipping away at him. So when he get up there, when he get up there and speak, he won't be on that high horse. We work on that every week for twice a week, matter of fact. We just chipping away, trying to get him off that high horse. So when he do speak, we don't have to worry about him you know, inflating himself up to this perfect person that he strives to be. You know.
Hey, Chef, they're going at you, Chef.
He enjoys it.
It's always like
that. He wouldn't put more on you than you can bear.
That's it. I don't that don't bother me. That don't move me.
Hey, bro. I've seen the change. Hey, Daryl, I've seen the change in the last 6 months. So I'm just proud of it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because at one time he was never coming down to help us. He was never coming down to our level to explain things to us. You know what I'm saying? He said, "I'm an eagle." He said he did like this. Hey, Daryl, he even went like this when he said it. I'm an eagle.
Hey, yeah.
I don't go with the pigeons.
Let me show you something. What I realized,
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of the archive shows.
Yeah. Look, I realized with Rodney, I have to some of the analogies I can't say to him because you know he just take it to a whole nother level.
It was him. It was Chef. He did it all himself.
I gotta pump it down a little bit.
Don't believe what she said. It's all Chef.
Even when I try to bring it up to him, all he do is double down.
Right.
He just double right on down. He'll be completely wrong and will double down on it. I'll be like, all right, bro.
We got a smile behind it. So we know he's doing it on purpose.
Right.
Oh, that's what it is, Lady T? I didn't know that. Now I learned. Okay.
Smile. He's got a smile behind there.
He poking the bear.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But you know what? That's why we here.
It up.
That's why, look, purpose. It's no coincidence that Rodney here. It's no coincidence that Lady T here. It's no coincidence that you here, Darren. It's purpose. Seriously, it's purpose.
I love it when he does the radio voice.
It's purpose. But that's a comedian over there. He's a funny guy, so he's a funny guy. You gotta love him. But no, that's it.
I'm happy. I'm about to go on vacation with my family, man.
Me too.
Excited.
Me too. I'm going on vacation with mine too. Lady T and my other cousins down there. We about to have some fun because I can't wait. I'm
about to get turned. I can't wait to see the pictures. Make sure you take plenty of pictures, Chef.
We definitely gonna take
do y'all exchange gifts or is it like what's that thing they used to do? That Secret Santa
White elephant?
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Secret Santa?
Nah, I won't do none of that.
What
we do is gifts.
Huh?
We do exchange gifts.
Oh, y'all do?
Yes.
Oh, you exchange gifts?
I mean, it's just for the kids mostly. We do it for
Oh, but we look
not like a Secret Santa, white elephant type of thing. We haven't done that in years.
Oh, okay.
We just gonna have some fun.
What about you, Daryl? What you got planned? Everybody talking about there.
You know, I'm in North Carolina, so you know most of my family's still in Connecticut. I do have some out here. I may pass through, I may pass by, but I'm gonna relax. You know, I'm busy this time of year, so I'll relax and just chill. I'll just chill, build up some momentum going to the new year strong, and this platform definitely helped do that. And I appreciate the invitation.
Yep,
everyone. So yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah, appreciate you for coming out.
Listen,
we're gonna end this, huh?
No, I was just reading the book. That's all. I was just reading it. Yeah,
we definitely gonna
check it out.
See you guys. We won't see you guys until we're gonna take a little break. Let me put this out there real quick so people know. We won't see you guys.
You can just put it in the post, bro.
January the 6th.
January the 6th. All right.
I can't wait for my break.
I'll just pray for you every week from now on.
So y'all on every Tuesday, 6:30. Well,
Tuesday
January.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That's on Monday, and on Monday at 7.
With these
and
that mentality. Monday at 7.
Yes, sir. Monday at 7. Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna have believe it or not, in this topic, we're gonna have a relationship therapist join us on. I hope Lady T gonna join us too. I'm gonna try to talk her into it.
Yes.
Let's see. Yeah.
Look how you do me. See how you do me, Lady T.
No, you're always there. I barely.
No. I don't need your distorted marriage opinion. I don't need that. I need somebody who's gonna talk the truth. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I understand that your wife is perfect, but I'm sure you're not. So I know she do a lot of praying. She do a lot of praying and a lot of forgiving. So,
man,
Miss Esther, that's my baby. She is perfect. I know it. You can't say nothing else. I wish you would say she wasn't.
That's right.
All right, y'all. We out of here.
I do that to get us out of here, Lady T.
Yeah.